Hello, and welcome to our first edition of EKUcast. I'm Kendra Stewart, a faculty member here at EKU, and I'm thrilled with this opportunity to help bring you the excitement of our university. I'm proud of EKU, and I look forward to bringing you news, stories, and interviews about what's going on at Eastern and about the people who are accomplishing so much on our campus. Speaking of interviews, today we have a special guest in our studio. Joining us is EKU's new president, Dr. Doug Whitlock. Dr. Whitlock, thank you for being here.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, Kendra.
Why don't you start by telling us what your top priorities are going to be during your tenure as president?
Well, you know, I've been telling a lot of people that I feel like a puppy that's caught a car. So my first and immediate priority is to stay out from under the rear wheels. But more seriously, and I've talked about this several times already, the university has a capital campaign underway that's about 75% of the way toward its goal. You cannot afford to have a campaign and not reach your goal. So my commitment is for us to reach that goal and hopefully surpass it to some extent. There's a significant public interest in the concept of regional stewardship at this time, and we unveiled a business plan in draft form last week that includes the concept of the 22 county campus. Which is tied into that. And I met earlier today with the provost and some others, and we're going to kind of roll this thing out. It's very much in draft form. Some parts of it are almost by title only. And we need to get some filling in of the blanks by the folks out in the university community. And perhaps, and you know, I realize this will be the case, there'll be some things that we haven't thought of in the press of the deadline that we were under to get that done. That will come out as better minds on this campus than mine apply themselves to it. So those are significant. And we've got some major building projects underway that we need to see to fruition as well.
Like the new science building?
Well, first and foremost, the new science building. The total scope of this project, when it's finally underway, is going to be approximately $90 million. And 53 of that is already allocated and under construction, and that takes care of all of our hard sciences with the exception of biology. And we need to have all those together, so our first funding priority for capital purposes in the upcoming biennial budget process is going to be to get phase 2 of the science building approved and funded. And I saw a presentation yesterday. It's possible for us to get this done in such a way that phase 2 will be completed only a few short months after phase 1. So it's not going to be the inconvenience that some people thought going in. And of course that's predicated on our being successful in getting the remaining funding. But I'm very optimistic about that because we've got a compelling case. The state, you know, another public policy press at the moment is the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education type things. And this building will really ratchet up our capacity to educate students in those critical areas.
What is the timetable for the completion or the construction of the science building?
Well, again, in the presentation I saw yesterday, if all goes well, it could all be completed late in the fall semester of 2010 and available for use then in the spring of 2011.
That's exciting. Is there any other major construction projects
going on?
Well,
you know, just down the hill from where we are now, we have phase 1 of the business and technology complex. And we will soon see work on the significant phase 2 of that, which has already been funded, and we're not that far away from seeing dirt turned down there. And that's going to include a really fine, I'm told, what will be the finest performing arts complex in Kentucky. So I'm looking forward to that.
That is exciting. I've heard there might be a Starbucks on campus. Can you confirm that rumor?
It's my understanding that our food service provider has committed to building a standalone Starbucks on campus. And you know, right now the challenge that's before us is to find the location that will best serve everyone and cost us the fewest possible parking spaces.
I understand Eastern is about to offer its first doctoral program. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, one of the first things that I had the pleasure of doing was signing off on the paperwork to transmit the documents to the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, our regional accrediting body, and it's for an EDD, an educational leadership, and I think one of the major target populations for that are school administrators throughout the state. Unlike many states, there are very few superintendents in Kentucky prepared at the doctoral level, and we think that's a need, and this is part of a program to address that.
And I understand it's going to be very interdisciplinary.
It's going to be very interdisciplinary. It's going to have the benefit of having a number of former successful superintendents participating in it as faculty. I'm very excited about it. It too ties in a very significant way to the whole regional stewardship concept, because it's one of the things that we want to do, and it's a feature in our business plan, is to reach out to the K-12 schools in those 22 counties. And we have a significant issue on this campus of developmental or remedial education, and it's not, it's really not the faults of the students that they come here ill prepared. So we feel that we have a moral obligation to help them and help them be successful. The state can't afford to discard a generation of young people, but we want to be sure that we're not contributing to that problem by doing everything that we can do to improve our teacher education and to improve our outreach into the schools, and quit dealing with the symptoms on this campus and deal with the root causes.
Well, it sounds like an exciting opportunity
for
our campus. You mentioned the EKU business plan a couple of times. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, that's really tied to the House Bill 1 from the '97 session of the legislature, sometimes called the Higher Education Reform Act of 1997. And that's post-secondary education's equivalent of KERA. And just like KERA has the goal in it of proficiency by 2014, the overarching goal in the Higher Education Reform Act is to double the numbers by 2020. And the number that they're seeking to double is the number of people in Kentucky who hold baccalaureate degrees. So each institution in the state has been asked to develop a business plan in which we will address our piece of helping the state get to that goal. And where this fits with some of these other things that I've been talking about is one of the only ways we're going to be able to do that is to improve the retention, the success rate of our students. And we're not going to do that by lowering standards. Nothing is served by dumbing it down, so to speak. We want to enable people to be successful at a high level of rigor. And so that's a component of the business plan. Another piece of it that I find exciting is the concept of regional educational extension agents. And I'll be honest, that's based on the highly successful agricultural extension agent program that land-grant universities across the country have used to serve the agricultural economy so well for many years. Well, we're in an information-based economy now, so we're looking at information economy extension specialists to work in this 22 county campus.
Well, it sounds like a great plan to help EKU move forward.
Well, I believe that it is.
Well, thank you for your time, Dr. Whitlock.
You're very welcome.
Before we go, there are a few events we'd like to remind you about. Of course, a big event is EKU Homecoming on October 20th. You can learn more about Homecoming on the web at homecoming.eku.edu. The Chautauqua Lecture Series is up and running for its 7th year. This year, the theme is Space, Place, and Life, and you can learn more about the series at chautauqua.eku.edu. Finally, if you or someone close to you is considering attending EKU, you might want to come to EKU Spotlight Day, October 27th. You can enroll and get more information at eku.edu/futurestudents/spotlight. The next EKUcast will be on the EKU website beginning October 15th and also available as a video podcast on iTunes. So, until next time, I'm Kendra Stewart, and thanks for watching EKUcast.